Alright, listen up man, in the history of this channel, never have I seen the excitement, the fervor, the damn interest in a set as strong as I have seen it with Bloomburrow. Let's hop in man, lots of sweet build-arounds for the furry community out there, let's win them over. Alright, then we're going to take on the vegans. After that, we're probably going to do the community of cat lovers. Now let's start off strong with a character we can all relate to, someone with questionable fashion sense and an absent chin, Flubs the Fool, just like Nikki G out there, brother. And if you enjoy this content, if that's what you want to term this tomfoolery content, then like and subscribe to the channel, get in the Discord, wherein the dudes cavort in their frocks, get in the Patreon, brother. We got ad-free videos, video requests, we got my OnlyFans shoulder hair pictures, they're really hot in there too, man. Flubs the Fool, green, blue, and a red for a legendary creature frog scout. It's a 0/5. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. That sounds good. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card if you have no cards in hand. Otherwise, discard a card. This guy knows exactly where he's going and how he isn't getting there. Interesting card. The first thing I notice about this guy is how cute he is. I'd be down to adventure with this guy. Let's do an adventure, man. Imagine he sounds like Kermit the Frog. It ain't easy being a card out there. So this guy's a character, which is what Magic is all about. I'd rather build around a character than Urza or some edgelord like Yawgmoth, you know? Commander's all about having fun, and this guy, he looks like he does that. So you're definitely going to be discarding cards, so we have to look for ways to pay that off or mitigate that downside. The first thing I thought of, honestly, was Library of Lang here. So this is one generic mana artifact, you have no maximum hand size. If an effect causes you to discard a card, discard it, but you may put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard. So I believe this interacts with Flub's effects, but it's a weird old card with many rulings, many french fries. I would encourage you to read them, but in any case, it still triggers all the discard stuff below. It's like a special discard. Perhaps a better and more modern version of this is the Containment Construct. 2 generic mana, artifact creature, construct, it's a 2/1. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn. You also have some interesting little pingers. You got Browlin out there, you got Glinthorn Buccaneer. Is this a damn Wheels deck, brother? Could be a fun way to go. You have the 2 best colors from Wheels, red and blue, man. Red has all kinds of good wheels, and blue has Windfall, they got Jace's Archivist. Great stuff like that. Then we start looking for cards like this, the All-Seeing Arbiter, 4 blue, creature, avatar, it's a 5/4 with flying. Whenever this guy enters the battlefield or attacks, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Whenever you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -X/-0 until end of turn, where X is the number of different mana values among cards in your graveyard. He's just a naked blue giant watching people trying to catch a bus, dude. When I do that, they call it loitering and arrest me. But this guy must have a special license or something. What else we got here? Well, we got this guy, the Surly Badgersaur. This guy's a discard machine. 3 and a red, creature, badger, dinosaur. You know, whenever you're discarding different types of cards, you do different types of things. Interesting card. Looks like the magma worm from Elden Ring, dude. Foul tarnished. Discarding a card. And if you ask me, it's a shame what happened to this guy. He dared to tell the truth, brother. That the earth was flat and JFK was killed by lizard people. We have the conspiracy theorist, 1 and a red, creature, human shaman, it's a 2/2. Whenever this guy attacks, you may pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you may exile 1 of them from your graveyard. If you do, you may cast it this turn. Now we're rolling right into Inti the Minty here. He's the Seneschal of the Sun, dude. He's 1 and a red, legendary creature, human knight, it's a 2/2. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of turn. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until your next end step. Similar, but different. Probably a little better. Neat little fella here riding on his pet dog. Riel the Everwise. Love this card, straight out of Ikoria. 1 blue and a red, legendary creature, human wizard, it's a 0/3. Riel gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. You know, if you have your commander out as you cast this thing, it's not going to count. It's not going to trigger, dude, because you already discarded a card. Being all-knowing is a matter of remembering which things it is crucial to forget. It's a Joe Biden quote right there, brother. I like this lady's hat, but also her ability to refill your hand. Just a really neat card. Now we also have this little beast, speaking of wheels, the Runehorn Hellkite. 5 and a red, creature dragon, it's a 5/5 with flying, of course. Has 5 and a red, exile it from your graveyard. Each player discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. So this is kind of a pricey wheel, dude, but you're not sad if you discard this because you can just wheel back up. Now, if Talran has taught us anything, it's that an army of 2/2 flyers is nothing to sneeze at. With Flubs out there, this stupid card can make that dream a reality. The Drake Haven, 2 and a blue enchantment. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. So we're in red, green, and blue here, and these are 3 colors that don't have a ton of reanimation effects. Probably not going to have a ton of creature recursion, but there are a ton of flashback cards that can be pretty powerful. Now, we were talking wheels a few minutes ago, and unfortunately this card is like 30 bucks, but Echo of Eons is pretty fantastic. 4 blue sorcery, each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, draws 7 cards, has flashback for 2 and a blue. Pay off all those damn wheels with a Psychosis Crawler or dang Locust God, dude. This has some really buff wheel stylings right there. Now, there are 118 cards in these colors that reference flashback, so I'm not going to go through each one, but there are really few choice ones here. In spell-based decks, clone spells that increase your board presence can be pretty dope. Cackling Counterpart, fantastic card. Croaking Counterpart, they can be pretty nice. The frog one is super thematic with our frog dude at the helm here. Both have flashback. And of course, you don't want to sleep on the old backdraft Hellkite here. 3 red, creature, dragon, it's 4/4. Whenever this guy attacks, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. Flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. Memories burn with the brightest flames. Sweet little dragon can get you a lot of value, brother. People sleep on this card at their peril. Now, never sleep on the Root Coil Creeper out here. Green and blue, creature, plant, horror, it's a 2/2. It's a little mana dork here, but you can add 2 mana of any one color, spend this mana only to cast spells from your graveyard. Has green and blue, tap, exile it, return target card with flashback you own from exile to your hand. What's wrong with this guy? What a creeper, dude. Saw this guy hanging out on the floor trying to look up my shorts, brother. In any case, fantastic card in this deck, ignore how creepy he is. And of course, Flubs allows you to play into a landfall strategy. You're playing extra lands every turn, hopefully. Cards that let you play them from your graveyard are an even greater premium in this deck. Let's check those out, dude. I'm not just talking about Crucible of too much money here either. Now, the old Ramonap just got a reprint, down to a damn $1 or so. This guy's a pretty buff snake finding secret plants, dude. You don't want to find secret greenery out there, alright? If you do, you're going to be in trouble. That's hidden for a reason. This guy's got his own grow operation in Amaket. Conduit of Worlds. Now, old Nicky G touted this card as a real banger all the way back when it was printed, and guess what? It is. 2 green artifact. You may play lands from your graveyard. Has tap, choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast an additional spell this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. This helps later in the game when you're hellbent, man. Plus, it's a really dope card, believe me. Coming in about $2, you have Splendid Reclamation, 3 and a green sorcery. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. A little later, after wheels and mill and discard and all this stuff, you're slapping quite a few lands out there. You may want to include some effects like this. Perennial Behemoth. Take a look at this guy. 5 generic mana, artifact creature, beast. It's a 2/7. You may play lands from your graveyard. Has Unearth for green. It's a little powered down at 5 mana, but you get that sweet 2/7, you know. But if it brings another interesting mechanics into play here, Unearth. Now, this is probably the most powerful Unearth card out there from the Brothers War. You have a Cityscape Leveler, 8 generic mana, artifact creature construct. It has trample. Whenever you cast a spell and whenever Cityscape Leveler attacks, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a tapped Power Stone token. Has Unearth for 8. This thing's a damn 8/8, dude. This guy's leveling the playing field out there, ending discrimination worldwide, son. Probably the best of these effects is the Ancient Green Warden, 4 green, creature elemental. It's a 5/7 with reach. You may play lands from your graveyard. If a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. When the ruins awaken, so did their defenses. Thanks to a recent reprint, this guy is about $8. Still a very pricey card. And you may also want to consider some madness in there as well. Take a trip with me to the other side of madness. That was the Cro-Mags, 1992 or thereabouts, man. Great tune, brother. Probably check it out on YouTube. Anyways, Flubs is Diesel, and now I'm the furriest of furry boys. Welcome to the Fist of Fury, because I'm the most furious of them all, dude. This deck, if you build landfall and lands from the graveyard, gets more powerful the more money you pump into it. I did put together a sample deck list. It's about $300 or so. Pretty pricey for my standards. Needs fetch lands, probably Crucible of Worlds, or at least is more powerful with them attached. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your Flubs out there. Get outside if you can, brother. Nicky G signing off.